During the recording of this video, I'm in the process of a 3-day workshop. It's just executive leadership, data visualization, all that stuff for just professional development. The person that I was sitting next to yesterday, I asked if she had done a similar workshop within this workshop series that's offered by this organization. And she said, yeah, I'd done two others, and I'm looking to do another one after completing the one that we're currently in. The other one that she wants to complete is on public speaking and effective communication. And she mentioned public speaking is one of her biggest fears. So we talked about that a little bit yesterday, and then we started into an activity. So we didn't get to finish our conversation. But today, during lunchtime, I chopped it up with her. And I said, yo, yesterday I remember you said that you wanted to try another workshop within this series, and you want to do the public speaking workshop. And you mentioned that public speaking is one of your biggest fears. And so I asked, why is public speaking a fear for you? Where do you think that comes from? And she gave a very intriguing story. Like she talked about going all the way back to childhood, talking about just like genetic possibilities of how like characteristic predisposition based on, biological outcomes. But that aside, she said something that was very intriguing that I wasn't expecting. So oftentimes when I encounter people who may be afraid of public speaking, it stems from a place of insecurity, a place of I don't want to be the center of attention, and I'm just afraid of what people will think of me. She gave some of those answers, but the one thing that was intriguing was she said it doesn't, like for her, she said it didn't stem from insecurity. Like she had a very stable sense of self. She had solid self-esteem. She understood who she was. Like she was secure in her identity. But she added on the layer of perfectionism. She said there's a fear of making a mistake or not having all the talking points right or being misunderstood from the audience. And she's a working professional, like she does public speaking, but she just does not like it. Like it takes a lot to gear up to speak before a crowd of people. And I asked her another delineating question. I said, is it different based on the number of people in the audience, or is it about familiarity? And I'll dive into those as two separate things. So with audience size, I said, yo, so what's the limit? The workshop, we only got about 18 people, 20 people in the room. So I said, could you just go up and talk about your favorite movie in front of all of us? She was like, no, I don't even want to do that. I just prefer not to be the center of attention, even when it comes to like leadership uh, situations where she has to facilitate group discussion in a group, even when she is familiar with the information, even when she is familiar with the people in the room, she still don't rock with being before people and speaking about anything. And I thought about it. I said, huh. Because when people aren't prepared, they don't feel like they know what they're talking about. Fumbling in front of people can definitely be nerve-wracking. But even when you know exactly what you're talking about and you're actually passionate about the subject matter, you still don't want to talk in front of people? She's like, no. Now, I'm pretty sure if you look this up, public speaking is one of the most popular fears among people. And she asked me, she was like, so, what about you? What are your, I was like, I have zero issues talking in front of 10 people or 10,000 people. You give me the mic and I'm good. I'm okay, whether I'm talking to real people in real life or on camera. And that was another thing. She said she also has a bit of anxiety about talking to a large group of people, even in a video call, like even on Zoom, when she knows that there are 20 people in the virtual room. She still ain't rocking with it. I was like, yo, that's something. And she said, it seems like the only way to improve, the only way to get better is through. So she said, like, with this type of thing, or just the more I do it, the less anxiety I'll have. Now, differently, she said, I have a fear of flying, even though I do fly, airplanes. But that fear, no matter how many times I fly, I'm still going to have that fear because at any moment in time, she said a lot of things have to go right for a plane to take off, get to the destination, and land safely. So she said she'll never get over that. But we kept talking about stuff, and I thought that was a really fruitful conversation. And the entire first day of the workshop, we pretty much didn't say much to each other. But it wasn't until I opened up the conversation on day 2 and I asked her about something very specific, something that had weight to it, which is fear. Like we have a lot to say about things that we love, things that we hate, things that we enjoy, things that we fear. And I also asked her, so there's a difference between speaking before an audience. And then I said, so what about when you are in a large social setting and it's a networking situation where you just got to walk up to strangers and strike up conversation? She said, well, because that's more of a one-on-one situation, like once you get in conversation, she's like, I'm pretty okay with that. But there's another thing where she mentioned she doesn't really rock with small talk. And I understand that down to my core. But I think the reason why we were able to have such a fruitful conversation was because the stuff we was talking about wasn't really small talk. Like it really was a deep topic. Like fear is a deep topic. And some people won't even, like some people, if I was talking to anybody else, probably wouldn't even share as much as she did with me. But we just approached it as a point of curiosity, or just a point of, I'm wondering more about something you said the other day. So it's like I'm bringing up something from the past in a genuine a genuine manner. So she was like, "Oh, wow, okay, yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about it." So we kept talking, and then there's another thing where she was like, "So you have any tips or anything? Why is it so easy for you when it comes to public speaking and stuff, or even just being in social settings?" And I said, "Well, I do have one tip, and I had talked about this with somebody else a week ago. I think a week ago from recording this. I said, whether I'm in a one-on-one conversation with a stranger or I'm talking to a whole bunch of people in a room, I'm envisioning all of us as if we're 5-year-olds or 6-year-olds at the playground. And my inner child is speaking to your inner child. Envisioning that removes pressure from the situation. It removes the idea that this interaction or me sharing whatever needs to be perfect. So that's all.